Please run to Prime Video to watch this TV show because if it gets canceled, I will literally be sick. In Countdown, when an officer with the Department of Homeland Security is murdered in broad daylight, LAPD Detective Mark Meacham, portrayed by Jensen Ackles, is recruited to a secret task force alongside undercover agents from all branches of law enforcement to investigate. But the hunt for the killer soon uncovers a plot far more sinister than anyone could have imagined, kicking off a race against time to save a city of millions. Eric Dane, Jessica Camacho, Violet Bean, Elliot Knight, and Yuli Latukefu make up the ensemble cast. The Pulse Pounding series debuted on Prime Video on Wednesday, June 25th, with a 3-episode premiere, followed by weekly episodes which will drop throughout the summer. Now, I'm not usually a crime action type of gal, but after the first episode of Countdown, I was interested in seeing where the story would go. And I had fallen in love with Jensen at that point, and now I will watch anything that man does. Shout out to Prime Video for granting me access to the full season, but this video will not contain unaired spoilers. This video will be a part 1 review of the episodes that have already aired, and I will be uploading another video in September when the season wraps to fully express all the twists and turns of the show. So again, this video will only be about episodes 1 through 5, but bookmark this, save it, whatever, to give yourself a reminder to revisit this channel for the part 2 full spoiler discussion of Countdown in September. So off the bat, one thing I really love about Countdown is the task force. The cast is really great, and watching the team excel in their areas of expertise is one of the highlights of the show. This task force is like an Avengers or Suicide Squad minus the superpowers, who are band together to take down the villain, which in this case is Volchek. The show goes between 2 timelines showing Volchek's life before coming to America and the events that led up to him having this grand idea of destruction for LA, and then him being in LA taking steps to execute his grand plan, which the task force is trying to figure out. And anytime the task force had to go undercover to gain intel, I swear I was holding my breath. Those action sequences are so well done, and I felt the anxiety building in me, hoping everyone would be okay, especially with Meacham's medical condition threatening to derail a mission at any moment. However, there is a casualty of one of the task force members. I just knew something was going to happen to Detective Luke in episode 3. It was his birthday. He was trying to make it home to his family, but ended up in this shootout situation. And it was a perfectly set up misdirection because I wasn't expecting something to happen to Officer Drew. And that ended up being so much worse than I expected. I immediately thought about his poor wife that had already lost their son, and now she had to mourn her husband. So once I get emotionally invested in characters, I know a show got me hooked. But that death seemed like a moment that should have happened later on in the series because it wasn't even halfway in the show. But so much more does go on and happen that unfortunately, Officer Drew's death becomes an afterthought. I mentioned the thrilling action of Countdown because it has plenty, and while the show is not romantic at all, I couldn't help but zone in on the chemistry between Meacham and Olivares. It has classic enemies to lovers written all over it, and I was locked in whenever those two had scenes together. They are electric, and it helps that they're both hot. And because I just started watching Supernatural because of Jensen, his character in Countdown is so Dean Winchester coded. Meacham does bring a comedic aspect to the series that balances out those more intense and high-staked moments. The motivation of Volchek was a little unclear for me at times, though. But as the story unfolded, it was making more sense, and I got less confused about what was going on with him. But I do like that he's this super intelligent, unhinged man with a vendetta. He kind of reminded me of Gerard Butler's character in Law Abiding Citizen. Amazing movie if you haven't seen it, but that character was very clever in how he would get rid of his deemed enemies, and Volchek was on that same vibe in how he was maneuvering. Overall, I'm loving Countdown. It's a good blend of action and suspense filled with likable characters you want to keep watching. Like, I found myself still thinking about the episodes and wanting to see them again. I'll probably do another watch for sure. New episodes of Countdown premieres Wednesdays on Prime Video through September 3rd. If you are watching the show, tell me your pros and cons of Countdown in the comments.